Hey, 80-day obsessioners. Just checking in today to see how everybody is doing. It is Saturday. We are almost 2 full weeks in, and you might be feeling some things, right? Hopefully, you are keeping on track with your nutrition. Missing a container here or there, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you are really off on your time nutrition, if you're not getting all your containers in, if you are starving by the end of the day, these are all things we should be talking about and that we should be dealing with. Autumn talked about this in the coaches test group. If you are starving all the time, that may mean you need to bump up a meal plan, and we should talk about that. So if anyone is hungry, like feeling like they are just not getting enough to eat, please say so. I'm going to admit, at nights, like 9 to 10 o'clock, I get so hungry and then I have a really hard time going to sleep. So I may end up bumping up a food bracket. I'm a B, I might become a C. I don't know, we're gonna see. So these are things that are important to think about. This nutrition program is very specifically designed for this workout program. So if you are really hoping to get the results that you could get with this, then you got to be all in and be doing the meal plan accordingly. That being said, I hope everybody's all in, but certainly we can't say, you're either all in or you're out. That's not the way this goes. But if you've been just kind of sort of doing it, but you want to bump it up and you'd like help making that happen, let us know. We can help. I know that a lot of us are following our meal plans pretty much to the T. And so I don't know about anybody else, but I'm seeing results, and I haven't even been able to exercise, like at least today, and maybe tomorrow because I hurt my back, something else I'm going to talk about in a second. So there's definite importance to this time nutrition and getting all of that nutrition in. Speaking of the nutrition and nighttime hungry and all that, you also want to be making sure you're getting your fluids in. Another thing Autumn mentioned is, at night, your body is repairing. And in order to repair, it heats itself up, right? That's when your metabolism is revving up because it is using that fuel to fix up all the hard work you just did. So you may have trouble sleeping because you're too warm. Dress temperature accordingly to help yourself get a good night's sleep, because sleep is super important for us, right? So make sure you're doing what you need to do to get good quality sleep. And finally, I want to talk about the stretching. And unfortunately for me, stretching was not necessarily completely the issue. I just did something dumb by sitting and playing on the floor with my kids for 3 hours straight. Don't do that. That's bad for your back. But also, we are putting a ton of strain on our shoulders, on our wrists, on our backs, on our hips and our knees. So, yes, the warm-ups are great, but no, they may not be enough for you. And that is okay. It is okay to do the warm-up, press pause, and do some more. Do some more stretching. I know for me, my hamstrings are always crazy tight. My hips are tight. I need to be stretching that business out. My butt is forever tight, and I will need to always be stretching my butt so much more than I am. So don't be afraid to stretch more. And for sure, I'm going to just say it, and I feel like Autumn has said it too, there is not enough stretching at the end of these workouts. Are there good stretches? Yes. Are they held long enough? Absolutely not. I'm a former dancer. I've been through physical therapy, chiropractors. I have lots of friends in the business. It's not enough stretching. This is how we injure ourselves, okay? You have to take the time to properly stretch. If you rush and are moving on to something else, you seriously risk injury. And no, it may not happen right away. It could end up being like the next day. You have to stretch it out. Our butts are getting a huge workout. We work a lot just in day-to-day life with our butts. You gotta be careful with whether or not we're keeping that well stretched, that we're using proper form in everything we do. So for me, sitting on the floor, cross-legged, bending over, putting together this thing, a terrible idea. Did I realize at the time? Obviously I did not. So hopefully this will get into my thick skull. So be conscious of what you're doing. You are putting a lot of extra strain on your bodies right now because of this program. Yes, we are putting in more good fuel, but if you're not getting the water, if you're not getting the sleep, if you're not doing the good stretching, you will injure. You will shorten the amount of time you're able to continue this plan. For me, I am making the smart decision and I am taking a couple days off and I'm doing nothing but heating up and stretching out and icing. Please don't be afraid to ice. Ice is our friend. Unfortunately, ibuprofen and Tylenol are going to be our friends. We are truly training like athletes right now. You may have never been an athlete in your life. I've never really been an athlete, although some people tell me dancing is being an athlete. I don't know. But you may have never been an athlete in your life. But if you know an athlete, the thing they were always told, ice and ibuprofen. It's not a lie. Ice will bring down the inflammation and so will ibuprofen. But when you want to stretch, you've got to get heat on it, whether it's a heating pad, whether it's warming up your body in order to stretch that. Otherwise, you're going to tear cold muscles. So that's my 2 cents about that. The very last thing I want to say is, and I think for the most part we're pretty good in here about this, but please don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Remember, your results are your results. Your drive is your drive, right? None of us can push you harder than you can, but that also means we can't dial you down when you need to. I needed to learn that, and hopefully I'll be a good example for everyone else, that sometimes we have to listen and go, okay, I got to dial it back for a minute because I'm doing damage to my body that could be longer term a problem, right? So don't get in the comparison game. Don't get in an expectation game. Don't be hopping on the scale every day. Don't do it. Don't. I generally only get on the scale once a month anyway. I know, crazy, right? But I am seriously only getting on twice a month at the 2-week mark and at the 30-day mark. That's it, because I don't need to play those mind games. I can already see results. You can too. Don't get on the scale. All right, guys, comment your questions, your concerns. Are you having any problems with the nutrition plan, being hungry, stretching, anything like that? I'm also happy to show a lot of really great stretches for stretching out your butt, your back, your hips, all that good stuff. All right, have a great one.